I am Delia Codes, and this is my Node capstone live streaming. We are working on getting my first Node capstone, or excuse me, my first Node project up and running with Express. We're also using Jest, Heroku, and CodeShip, and a few other things. So I think last time what were we doing? We were doing models, right? Um, and we were making sure that we were constructing our first model and kind of making sure that it does what it needs to do. So I'll share my screen and we can kind of go through it. So I'll go through the code really quickly. Oh man, I need to sneeze. Okay. So we constructed our first model, which is here. I'm not sure if I need to do anything else. Some of the things I've been looking at so for instance, I think some of the things I've been looking at are like, hey, this is perfectly fine as a model. But when I go and I look at some of the other code um, that happens in my school, um, this kind of code, that sort of thing, it seems a lot more in depth. And I'm not actually, I mean, it's like to a certain extent it's useful to have this, but I'm not sure how much of this I need is my biggest question. Like, I could do function, I could do console log, I could do a create. I mean, I think eventually you probably want to do a create, get, and update, but I'm not sure if this is the kind of structure that I should look like. So, so we've got that on our plate for models. And the next item after that, I guess I have to load my Trello. The next item after that is going to be setting up Jest. And endpoint for adding a meal. Let's edit this. So I've got that. So I think we should probably like kind of do both of these things. And yeah. And so the only other thing that I can think of that happened while you were away, let me do this. So I moved this mongoose.promise over here, and I fixed a problem where my dot environment was not uploading correctly. So I have a bunch of secrets that I'm using in this API. If you can see here. So what I was doing is I was loading it here and then trying to use it, which doesn't really make sense, frankly. And so it was kind of like, why am I doing this? This is like ridiculous. So that's kind of part of what I was like, what I was doing. I also had a script in here that didn't quite work with the new setup. So it's kind of what it is. So I think models working tree. All right, let's commit this change. Removing unneeded code. And then from here, we do that. And then, and other than that, that's kind of it. So this is our API currently. And this is our app. And this is our server. I think we're looking good so far. I feel like this model needs a bit of work. But again, the other thing I don't like about this, so if you look at how gigantic this is, sort of thing. I mean, it's like it's pretty big. It's like, and honestly, it's an object. It's an object of functions. It's a lot of functions. I'm not sure if I need this. Um, and then it also uses UUID, which is kind of interesting. I mean, I could like kind of try to adapt it. I don't like the use of this. I try to avoid using this. Um, and yeah, it's just kind of like a little like much. I mean, I don't know. So and then so they take this object right here and then they pass it in here. So they have this create shopping list. And they use object.create and passes in that shopping list. And then storage.items is equal to that. And then they return that thing. And so, and then they export that create shopping list. Which seems kind of like, okay, that makes sense, but it's also like kind of weird. Um, so, yeah, that's my concern about it. And also, like, honestly, I'm not sure how much of this logic should be in the get. Like, so if you look at this, their stuff, it's like their models don't necessarily do that much. They're like, do this, and then blah. And then it's like defining schema, creating a model, and this is the model. And then var schema, new schema, blah, blah, blah. Okay, then validation. And then I guess I could do something like this. Anyway, I'm not sure what I mean. It's like the model provides like so in this example, for instance, they don't even do any of the mongoose stuff that is done there. They just do like they just do module.exports and then they put it in. I think they put the mongoose stuff. I think they put the mongoose stuff in the router. So here is where they use shoppinglist.create and then that. Okay, so I guess this isn't connected to mongoose is the other thing. So it might not be a bad idea to follow that pattern if that's kind of what they're trying to, if that's like not necessarily a bad thing. Because the only other thing I could think of is that from here, it's like they're like some model.create. Um, yeah. Okay. No. Okay. So what we could do. Okay, so let's go back. Let's look at this alongside our code real quick. And let me bring up the Restream chat while I'm thinking about it. Okay. So the one thing I don't do is I go meal model. Okay, so the way they do it is they use the create or this to do that, which actually sounds really pretty cool. Like, I don't know. The one thing I don't understand is I don't understand how um, that should work within the application. Because we kind of want to break this out, right? We want to, like, oh! So, in other words, what we could do is we could use this to okay, name string, size string. Okay, so in other words, we have the ability to pass in to the thing. We don't necessarily need a create function unless there is some sort of complexity happening here. So let's look at this create function real quick. See what it does. It takes naming ingredients, creates a new recipe, and then passes in an item, assigns it a thing. And then returns it as... Okay, so the reason why they do this is because UUID. Okay, so the reason why this is like a particular thing is because of the UUID version. So that means that for my really, really basic first setup, I don't need that. I may need this later, but not right now. Okay, that's super useful because you can use this to grab models, or well, really not to grab, to save them. Okay. And then querying, updating, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. And honestly, like, you don't necessarily have to go this way. This is like just somebody's particular implementation of such. Okay, great. Mongoose docs are amazing. All right, so let's see here. Next, let's start working on... All right. So we're going to work on our setting jest for model testing. So that is implementing this, which is kind of going to be interesting. That was a little awkward. Okay. Okay, let's open the original URL. Oh wow, there's a lot of files here. Okay, so let's look at the GitHub. Let's look at the package JSON. Actually, let's see here. Okay, let's install MongoDB memory server. Gonna copy that. We're gonna install it as a dev dependency, but I'm not sure if it actually should be a dev dependency. All right, installing that, and we're gonna find out what this looks like. In the meantime, I'm going to update our documentation and say Q&A unsuccessful. Too much demand. After some reading, I think my simple implementation is good. Okay. Though with other features, it likely will need more. Okay, so we've installed the thing. Warn. Okay, great. So, let's see here. Let's commit our package JSON. There we go. Okay. Now, I kind of think that we need to create in our test okay, let's look at it. So they have a setup.js. So I'm going to call that a setup test.js. Though that may... No, it's actually it's actually should be set up. And then they have Mongo environment. Environment.js. And then they have teardown.js. And then they have okay, so what are we testing here? We're testing Mongo test. We're going to say Mongo test. We're going to say DB test. Though maybe we need to rename that. Okay, let's make this bigger. So, whoa. Didn't mean to make this bigger. I meant to make this bigger. Okay, great. So now let's put some code in. So they say, let's import MongoDB memory server. And then they require great. Const MongoDB name. So maybe we should call it something else. MongoDB fake. MongoDB equals jest. Great. Okay. And let's do MongoD is equal to new. And then we're going to say MongoDB memory server dot default. We're going to say instance DB name. So I kind of wonder, I'm going to put this as a comment. Should this be named something else? So what I kind of wonder is whether or not it makes sense to have that name be like something that, yeah, I don't know. Okay. So let's save. So let's do DB name, like the thing. I don't understand why they do binary there. I'm going to put it, but I'm a little bit like, Yeah, the way they do this, I don't entirely get why they're going to do this way. Okay. There we go. MongoDB fake. And then there. And then we put that. And then we put that. ESLint happy. And then, oh, we forgot. There we go. My caps lock key does not like to work. It's kind of frustrating. Okay, so we're gonna say version 3.2.19. Okay. I'm just going to copy this as is, even though, like, theoretically this should be an ES6 thing. Alright. Because maybe there's a reason why it's an ES5. And we're going to say global dot underscore MongoD underscore equals MongoD. They put a space here, and they put a space here, and no space there. All right, and then let's do global dot mongos underscore db underscore fake underscore equals okay. Tell me, ESLint, what don't you like about it? Okay, well, we're gonna leave it for now, and hopefully we get an idea of what that looks like, and get an idea of if there's a way we can make ESLint happy with it. Though I guess I could always do an ES6 function. Okay, great. ES6, done. Okay. So I feel like this is a link. Okay, interesting. Okay, let's continue. Okay, Mongo environment. Okay, and let's commit this. Actually, let's commit all of these. Creating MongoDB and MongoDB testing environment. Okay, great. Let's go with class Mongo environment extends node. Environment. I have no idea what this means. Constructor config super config. And then we're still in the thing. Okay. Async setup. And I honestly really don't know what any of this does right now. I'm hoping that by typing it out and talking about it that we can like kind of figure that out. Well, I guess there's like, so the Mongo environment extends the node environment and it constructs a config. It creates a configuration from another configuration maybe? I don't know. Okay, so async setup. console.log setup MongoDB test environment. Okay, great. Done. This dot global dot underscore Mongo underscore URI equals await global dot underscore underscore Mongo D underscore underscore dot get connection string. Okay. This dot global dot underscore underscore MongoDB Mongo underscore DB underscore fake underscore underscore equals global. Help if I could actually type. Dot underscore underscore Mongo underscore DB fake. And then we're gonna do that. And we're gonna say await super dot setup. And we're gonna semicolon that. And then we're gonna go right. Next. Okay. It does not like my dangling. It says useless constructor. Okay, great. Let's make sure our things match. Great. Async teardown. Okay, great. Teardown Mongo DB test environment. Okay, great. And then we're gonna say this await super dot teardown. So this super seems to be doing a lot of work. It configures, it looks like it sets up, and then it tears down. So super sounds like the thing that handles all of this. So let's create a run script. Run script, and we return super dot run script no blank lines, and hopefully that works. Okay, great. Mongo testing environment drafted. The one thing I'm kind of worried about, I guess, is am I putting the files in the right place as much as anything else? Like, I'm convinced this probably should work, but yeah, I'm concerned. Okay, I'm gonna take a small break. I will be back in a few minutes. Okay, welcome back. So, we were working on, we just created our Mongo environment. So now, we need to edit our teardown, which does very little, it looks like. Okay, the thing I'm kind of like, why does this... Okay, so let's put a comment here and say, why does this need to be in a separate file? And then we're going to say module dot exports equals async, and we're going to say function. So we're going to make it an anonymous function. And we're going to say, okay, this is weird. Okay. We're going to say await global dot underscore underscore mongo d underscore underscore dot stop. Missing semicolon. Okay, they really don't like this. All right, well, we're going to go with it. And then for our DB test, this is where it gets cool. Const Mongo client equals require. And actually, I should probably sum up that last one. So this one, what I think it does is it exports the asynchronous function that stops the MongoDB global server thing, which I hope makes some kind of sense. Okay. So let's do teardown. Let's commit. First draft of teardown function. Okay, so let's go with this DB test. Equals require, and then we're going to say Mongo DB. Great. Okay. Okay, what don't you like? Missing trailing comma. Okay. Great. Oh, I guess I don't have MongoDB installed. Okay. And while that's doing its thing, let's continue our test writing. So let's say let connection. Okay, let DB. Great. Before all, async Okay, MongoDB is installed. Let's save this real quick and then installs MongoDB. Okay. Let's continue. Connection equals await Mongo client dot connect. And then we're going to connect with the global dot Mongo, if I could, URI underscore underscore. It's actually underscore underscore that. And that's that. Great. DB equals await connection dot DB global dot underscore underscore Mongo underscore underscore, no, just one underscore, DB underscore fake underscore underscore. Okay. I'm really confused. Okay, so let's make our thing go away. Unrecoverable syntax error. What did I do wrong here? Okay. Okay. We're just going to assume it works and that I need to turn ESLint off on this thing. Either that or there's some sort of standards that I don't entirely know about. Okay, so let's do after all. And we're going to say async. Then we're going to say await connection dot close. And then await DB dot close. Great. Okay. Well, that one worked out well. It doesn't like my before all. Okay. Interesting. Okay. And then this is the part where, like, this is the part where, okay, this is the part where we can, huh, neat. Okay, let's save this and let's run npm test just for kind of understanding a little bit more what's going on. Okay, it's downloading node environment right now. I don't know. I should look at what my thing is. Okay, so let's go to Mongo environment. No, it is in setup. Okay, what is my version? Let's go with my package.json. 3.04, 3.0.4. Okay, let's go with side. Wait, that doesn't do what I want. Oh my, that's funny. Okay, okay, trash, trash, trash. Okay, great. Okay, so I feel like setup should be in somewhere else. Um, I mean, I like the fact that it's downloading MongoDB, but okay, I don't know what's happening here. Okay, so let's search for some node environment stuff. Because what is node environment? Okay, I'm stuck. Okay, let's quit. Yep, let's move this, let's move this. Let's move Mongo environment. And then all we have is db test. Let's open up db test and go, and we say it, and then we're gonna do that, and we're gonna say kitten, and then we're gonna expect to be true. Okay, so let's try to run this again, shall we? Okay, great. URL malformed. I wonder if I'm doing that right. Okay. So that solves the run problem. Ah, I didn't mean to do that. Okay, so let's commit things. Moving non-test files into root. Constructed first test. Great. I mean, it's not working, but it's, still the first test. Okay. We haven't gotten... So, we've gotten a weird error. So I think... okay, so... I'm getting a weird malformed URL error when following that guideline, that tutorial. That was a shortcut I didn't mean to use. But other than that, it seems to be working. Okay, great. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining me on this, on this stream. I will continue to keep working, some of which you probably, well, let me go to video. I'll continue to keep working, some of which you may not see, but for various different reasons, including, making sure that I keep the course curriculum private. So I hope that you've enjoyed watching me stream and watching this project and me struggle to figure out what's going on with it. I kind of think that this malformed URL thing is having to do with the way in which the way in which that await is using the URI. Like, for some reason, I think that we're not defining it correctly or something. I'm not really sure, though, and it's going to be a lot of reading. And unfortunately, while reading is super useful, streaming reading is not. So, I will keep working. Thank you so much.